emphasizing on breath.
Yes.
Breath.
Yes.
Somebody told us that people tend to forget when and how to breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Is it
who was
true?
this person?
It was both Esther and social worker Tsulufe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She's also into yoga. Yeah. And breathing techniques.
Oh, yes.
And stones and mountain peaks.
Oh, yes.
All three of you guys are weird.
But why weirdness? Like why are such things always associated with weirdness?
Isn't it because people think they come without saying? Like, breath is what you were born with and everyone breathes. And when somebody tells you, hey, Thabo, you forget to breathe. Because I used to experience that when I started dancing.
Yes.
Thabo, breathe.
Yes.
I'm like, but I'm breathing. It's like, no, it's not intentional.
Yes.
You're not aware of your breathing.
Sure.
How important is it for human beings to be aware of their breath?
Oh my gosh, it is so very important for human beings to be aware of their breath because this is, according to me, our breath is our God. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in the Bible, we taught that we were breathed life into. God's breath gave us life. And we can breathe because we have God's breath in us. So to me, it is this breath that we breathe is not just a thing. It's a real source of energy that connects us and also allows us to heal. So yes, it is very important for us to be aware of this breath, for this breath is our God.
It's our God.
Yes. So you spoke earlier about the techniques. Yes, there are very different techniques to breathing. And there is a common way to breathe that I can say is like the basic way of breathing. If you think about a baby, a young baby, and if you're watching them when they're sleeping, for example, you'll find that they are breathing a certain way. You'll find that they'll be sleeping and their belly movement, will be expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting, and the baby is sleeping peacefully. So in a nutshell, we should breathe like babies. And that is the way. That is the basic way.
Contract and release.
Contract and release, but you take the breath in through your nose, and you take it to your belly. You expand the belly with your breath, and then contract to release. So you'll find that a lot of times you'll ask somebody to breathe in, and they will,
lift their shoulders.
Lift their shoulders.
Yes.
And I think it comes from when we go to doctors as babies.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll say,
Breathe in.
breathe in, and then we just go,
Hey, ma.
right. But that's also the other thing. Another point that I'd like to raise. You can actually breathe into every single body part. Yes, you can breathe into your toes. You can breathe into the back, your spine. You can breathe into your lungs, your palms. You can breathe into your phalanges. You can breathe into all of you, and you will find that vitality and healing is there, because breath does heal us.
It does. That is the most important part about this whole discussion.
Yeah.
We can't run away from breath. Imagine if we had to live without oxygen, dude. We can't live without
Yes,
oxygen, one.
we can't.
So clearly, breath is
important.
super important. However, in 2015,
Yes.
you went into childhood education.
Yes.
What inspired that move?
Oh my gosh. I think for me, it was the main realization that I picked up that children were not able to read. And I was so lucky. I mentioned earlier that my grandmother played a pivotal role in my upbringing. And one of the things that they did that was so important for me was introducing me to books. So I'm not really sure how that worked around in those years. I was about 6 and 7 years old and already had a selection of books that would come in on a term basis. And I couldn't read, but I could go through the illustrated, the stories. And that's how I started. You know, I started kind of making out what the story is saying, and ultimately I started reading because I had someone reading to me. So I think maybe when I read, I was watching them, I'm not sure. But I realized that children are not able to read. And so I tapped into the space of working with young children because I thought there's a way I could make reading fun for them using breath, using movement, using sound. Also, because when we're learning how to read, we're using phonic sounds, which, you know, also when we're breathing, I tend to refer to it as dinodo. You know, when in church, there's a hymn, and you know, there's certain songs that you just sing them a certain way using phonic sounds. E, b, k, d, or e, e, o, you know, also depending on which language you're speaking. But yeah, phonics. So we would really breathe in through the nose, and because they're little, I will say release the breath with your o, oo, something like that, right? And it's mouth, right? Yeah. So, yeah, those are the exercises that we would kind of explore.
Nice one, man. Parents should really take their children, consider you to teach their children a bit about some breath work. 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. Princess Solomon Mutong, visionary in arts, wellness, and literacy. When we come back, we talk about Let's.
Yes.
Absolutely. Be back after this.